Okay, first thing I'm gonna start with is just our zip line stuff. Now, during teen week, the training we're doing for this may also, like if you help with teen week, you would help as a team member because we don't have salt members that week. But if you help, and I ask that you help harness for stuff, if we happen to do the rappelling, the harness setup stuff is the same. You will never be in charge of belaying over there. Someone else will be doing that, but the harness setup will be the same. Now for the zip line, if you help with the zip line down there, as of right now, and probably whenever this one gets ready for a while, we'll have to do essentially belaying where you lower them off the rope. For those of you who have been here before, you know we've been doing it that way with our zip line for a while, but I'm just gonna teach you how to do it. When you get your kids out there, we usually do it during elective time. If you take your kids out there, it may not actually be your kids because elective time is different. For those of you who don't know, y'all will get split up based on where your kids is. The counselor, the guides, will go with where the most of your kids are, and then SALT members will go where the second most are, and then team members will go depending on where the guide and SALT member are. When you get them out there, you're going to have them stay on our current side of the platform that I will be standing on. Like where the steps are, just stay in front of the steps. I will go over some safety stuff about where they're allowed to stand, things like that. Your goal is to keep them staying where they're supposed to be and helping harness, unharness, and get different people ready to go up. Or you may be belaying them or lowering them off the rope, and I'll explain that part last. But the first thing we're going to do is just show you how to do the harnesses. So the first group that comes out there, I'll typically have the harnesses set up similar to this where they can just kind of step in to it, pull it up, you tighten their waist, then you'll tighten their legs. But if you don't have it that way and it's just here, first thing you want to do is just kind of grab it, make sure everything's loose and that nothing is twisted around. So sometimes they'll be like this, or even the legs will be twisted over each other. Just get everything, kind of grab it ready, and then you'll tell the kid to step into it. The left leg goes into the red. Their right leg will go into the gray. Both legs go through this before they step into that leg. You pull it up, you tighten the waist first, then the legs. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like. So I'll have them step in, make sure nothing's twisted, pull it all the way up, tighten the waist first, and then tighten the legs. And with the legs, like you don't want it hanging way down here. You want to have it nice right up against them. The back should sit right under the bottom of their butt, which will adjust everything else. Now you'll know that you put them on correctly when you're tightening them if they tighten away from their body. If it's tightening into their body, then something is twisted. Have them take it off, double check it, and then pull it again. For the top part, it'll always go out towards their gray leg when you pull. That way you know it's not twisted or upside down or anything like that. So it's just a way to remember. The reason we do this is you're always, safety-wise, you have to have two people have eyes on a harness. So even if like the kid knows what they're doing, you can let them step in, put it on, but I need you to double check and make sure it's tight. And then when they get up there, I will be the second set of eyes that double check and make sure it's tight. That way there's always two sets of eyes that check it. Then the helmet, they're fairly simple. Two of them are like this one. They have the little yellow gears that will tighten the head part, and then the strap here will tighten the chin part. Obviously on these two, the back is where the straps all connected together. Slide it over to the head, tighten the yellows as much as you need to, put the chin strap on. They can wait to have the chin strap all the way on and stay on until they get to me, but they need to make sure the height and everything's ready and right for that. Again, I will double check that for a second set of eyes. With this helmet, the way to tighten them is a little twisty tube on the back of the helmet. You just twist it in, it'll tighten it, twist it out, it'll loosen it. That part goes on the back of their head. And then to tighten these, it's the same thing. It is a little harder though because it's two straps instead of just one that goes through this buckle. Any questions about the helmet or harnesses? Okay, you can stop the video for now. You won't have to worry about the connection part. Whoever's running the zip line, which will probably be me. It might be like Wesley or Mr. Jeff. Well, probably not you. You'll be. Yeah. But what's going to happen is when they get to the end, they'll be hooked in. They'll get to the end, they'll be hanging up in the air. Usually you can reach their feet. You'll kind of bring them to the safest spot. There's a part of the ground on the zip line that's a little bit easier to lower them, less roots and stuff like that for them to be able to comfortably stand on. Tell them, first off, if they have long hair, make sure that their hair is behind them so it doesn't get caught in the into this. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Jada Brisson.
We had a few people that happened to. Make sure that their hair is behind them. Some boys have long hair, so same thing for them. Make sure their hair is behind them. And then you will tell them to let go of the rope and to take their left hand and pull the lever towards them. Pull the lever, they'll pull it towards them. Tell them to go pull the lever towards you about halfway. Whoever's running it will have explained that part to them. But they'll pull it and they'll start to lower down. What you are going to be doing is when they get to the end, you bring them to the spot. You're going to tell them to drop the bag. They'll take out their shoulders, drop it on the ground. You are going to be holding, so if they're up here in the air, you're going to be holding this rope, telling them to do the different things, and you're going to kind of hold it out to the side kind of tight. And once they start to pull the lever, you'll loosen so that they go down nice and slow. The smaller kids, you can give them a lot more slack because they're not going to weigh it down as much to pull it. This is a nice thick rope. There's a lot of friction on it. The small kids, you may even have to grab their harness and pull them down to give them the weight they need to lower all the way down. For bigger people, especially like Teenage Week and some of the older middle school kids, they will naturally, it's going to go down much easier for them. So you'll want to hold the rope a little bit tighter, and then once they start to pull it, you'll give them the slack and stuff like that. Once they're all the way down, you will then take the clip off of their harness. You'll untwist this so it's all the way down. Go like that. Unclip it from them, which you may, if you take it all the way out, it's fine. Then clip it back into this. Then you're going to grab the rope below the thing and just grab the thing and push it all the way up. That way, as high as you can. It's not going to be all the way to the top like this because that's going to be way in the air. Just push it as high as you can and then give the backpack to the kid and just tell them to walk it down to the end. The person that is helping harness, if the kids can't throw the backpack up to the top, then that will be part of what you do as well. Just take the bag and throw it to the top. If they can throw it up there without a problem, that's fine. If nobody can throw it up, then I, or whoever's running it, will just pull the whole bag, or the whole string up, and it'll pull the bag with them. Any questions? Anything that you know of that they do? Yeah, don't drop the kid. Don't let them fall on the roots and the stumps and things like that. Yeah, the more tension you have on the rope, the slower they're going to go down. So if somebody starts to go down fast, you can pull it hard. Sometimes they'll pull this all the way. This has a safety feature that locks, and it'll stop them from going. To reset it, tell them to push the lever all the way back up, and then restart pulling. No, other people that'll know what to do there. Cool. All right, we will switch to doing some of the obstacle course stuff now.
But I never made it to Older Cabin because traffic shut us.
Oh, they have it.
Oh, yeah. But I didn't Oh, okay. I don't like the town.
Actually, Jess, I'm gonna have you hold it and stand up. Y'all won't have to worry about this. It'll be hooked up, connected, and everything.
Take my sweatshirt off.
Hang on, I don't have my little belay flip thing.
Figure it out.
Okay, so those of you who have been through training and know this, you're not allowed to talk. So we'll say, Leo. Aiden, have you done this?
I've done it, but I've not done
You know the trick?
it. I do.
Okay, so you can't talk.
Do Zeb.
Jorge, you've never done this. Zeb, you're also new. Jack, have you done this? I know you've been as a kid before. You know you've done this? No? Okay, so Jack, you're good to talk. I know you know it. I'm pretty sure y'all know it. Do you know it?
I'm just like, love to be the carrot.
You're a team watcher. You probably know. So you're good to talk. I think So the 4 people I said are the only ones allowed to talk. Those of you who know the trick, don't just start doing it. Only do it if someone tells you to. And with that, what we'll do with the only talking, y'all have to decide who gets up to start walking around.
They only cost less than that, but I could sell them for $2. Most people sell them for $5. No, it'd be for my dad.
Oh, so part of the rules with this one is you're not allowed to touch anything that's not part of the game or set. Put that down. I already knocked that over so someone won't follow. So like if I'm standing here spotting someone.
Can I have
As long as you've either been the one getting the thing on or you've helped somebody, you're good. Bring you the harnesses y'all are done with. Listen up. Alright, if you come out here during cabin time with your kids, first thing you need to do, and I didn't say anything about it, but most of y'all did it. Make sure they have closed-toed shoes on. Allison did tell. I see it. So like Chacos, they strap. They're not terrible, but some of the things it's just better to have tennis shoes entirely. That way you don't catch the top of your feet. But they need to be shoes that tighten. The best thing is to have closed-toed shoes, and that's what you should recommend. Tell them to put those on if they have them. If they don't, just make sure they have shoes on that tighten. If they don't have shoes on that tighten, they probably shouldn't participate because it could be dangerous for them. I don't want them cutting their feet and stuff, things like that. But when they get out here, preface to them, do not get on any of the things until you've been given permission. Have them stop. Explain the safety, pretty much the stuff I'm about to say. Explain the safety rules of what's up here, and then whatever activities you do, you'll take them to each activity, explain the activity, then give them permission. Don't let somebody get on there until you have given them permission to do so. SALT members, we'll go over this a little bit more later. You are not disciplining your kids. Okay? At any point, you are not the one that gets to set what the punishment or discipline is for your campers. You report what was done to the counselor, and the counselor will decide what's going on. And the guides will decide what's going on. The reason for that is because we will talk to them and train them what's best and appropriate for different things. And so just know you are not the head of the cabin. It is your guide, and you need to let the guide decide what the punishment is, and you just report it to them. That makes sense? A lot of times when kids get out here, a kid will get on and a SALT member just wants to be like, 5 minutes of pull time. That's not your job. Understand that? Everybody understand? Okay. Now with that, you are responsible for helping them listen and be safe. When you get them out here, explain that these activities are meant to be fun, encouraging, and hopefully team building. That's what all of them are kind of designed, is to help team building. And that they can be dangerous. I mean, there are corners of wood, there are metal wires, there are tall walls, there are the Noah's Ark that goes back and forth. There are things that you can get hurt on. So preface, you can get hurt. So make sure you are listening to everything I tell you so that you can be safe and we can have as much fun as possible. If you're not listening, it's going to delay the time of us getting to do the activities, which is going to be no fun for everyone, and we may not get to do very much. So make sure you listen for both safety reasons and so that we can get through all the activities and have fun. And then SALT members, while the counselors are explaining, or if the counselor gives you the opportunity to lead and explain the safety stuff, you should be helping them listen, making sure they're not talking during this time, and keeping them together while they go over all the safety rules. For the sake of the video, I'm going to kind of briefly explain each thing from here, and then we're actually going to let y'all try some of the activities and whatnot and show y'all how to spot kids on certain activities and different things with that. So this one here, the 3 islands, it's more of our older kids. Like if you have the oldest group of middle schoolers, you might be able to do it, but it's really meant for like teenagers. And the goal is to get your whole team from this island to that island without falling in the ocean of sharks below. Okay? You will use these 2x4s at different lengths to get from here to there. And the big safety thing with this one is like, a lot of the kids, especially the guys, like to roughhouse and push and have fun and stuff like that. Don't let them be doing that, because this isn't a very far drop. But I have seen multiple people, not on this exactly, but this drop or even lower, break ankles and stuff like that. Judah last year broke his ankle on a thing this deep. So like, it's possible to happen. So that's kind of part of what the safety is with this one, is making sure they're not doing that. And then also, for your knowledge, when we do this activity, make sure that you are watching in the middle where the boards meet. Where the boards meet, that's typically where it tends to bow, and kids want to stop. And sometimes they want to try to jump to the next island. Don't let them do that. I have seen on this and on that, people get their shins shredded from the corners of this because they think they can jump, or somebody was messing with it and messed with that, and it scraped up their shins. So don't let them try to jump from one island to the other. And make sure that you are watching where the boards meet, that if a kid starts to fall, you can catch them and keep them from falling on their head. When they're getting up and down from the islands and things like that, they're probably going to jump, but tell them to step up and down. That way there's less likely for them to get hurt. Everybody understand the safety and the gist of the rules for this one? Cool. We'll let y'all do this one, so I'm not going to tell you the secret until after that. The next one that's right here is Mohawk Walk. The two wires that run from one tree out. That is a two-person one. There should only be two people doing it at a time. The goal is to start together and get as far as you can. Hopefully you can make it all the way to the trees, but going through. The safety with that is what you want to help keep the kids do is make sure the ones that aren't participating are standing far enough back where they can watch it safely, where they're not going to fall or mess with the wires that the people are on. And then what you will be doing is spotting them. At first, you'll spot them on the outside, and then as they start getting further, they're not going to be falling outward. They'll only be falling in, and you'll get on the inside. And then once they get far enough to where you need two people, then have either the team member or the guide and SALT member will both be on the inside, having your arms ready under the kid. That way, when they do start to fall, you can catch them and keep their head from falling, and you can let their feet hit first. Most of the time on that one, when people start to fall, they just step down because they realize they can't do it anymore. But that is what you're going to watch on that one. The one behind that is the trust fall. When you get them up there, whoever's going to do it, you want to have at least 6 people for the body and 1 person for the head. There are 2 different techniques that you can do to catch them. The softest and most comfortable for the fallee is to interlock your arms, come here, like this. And you just go every other arm like that. You'll interlock between all the people there, and then the last person will just kind of have their hands like this, ready to catch their head. Another option is to do this. It's a little firmer, so it does kind of hurt a little more, but it's easier for the people on the bottom to catch that because they are holding more firm together, if that makes sense. So if somebody does fall improperly, it's easier to catch them here than it is here. But we've had much larger people than the group down there catch like this. I think this is the most comfortable and safest. And when you are interlocked, if something does happen, you're much likely more to fall in and hit heads. Whereas this one, you kind of hold your arms out and lean back, and you just kind of go forward. So this one's typically best, but you can do either this or this. With that, you want to make sure nobody's wearing anything on their wrists. That's hard. Like if they have those soft plastic bracelets, not a big deal. If it's easy for them to take them off, still let them take them off. That way a finger or something can't get caught in it. But especially watches or bracelets that have like metal or hard surfaces, make sure those are taken off before you do the trust fall. When you get the kid up there to do it, you have them stand on the back of the edge. You tell them put both hands forward, turn them away from each other, cross arms, interlock fingers, and then tuck through your arms into your chest. The reason you do this is because when they start to fall, if they want to break their arms, it's much harder to break them as fast and hit somebody in the head on their way down. So if they are gripping tight and holding, they won't typically hit people as much. Whereas if they just go like this, my hands are free to just reach out and slap somebody. So we have them grip, interlock, and twist. Make sure that you have a mattress. We should have one I'll put one in that closet if there's not one. But if you're gonna come out here, and it's not out here, if it's not under the 10-foot wall, actually it's usually under the 10-foot wall. If it's not there, then check under there. If not, then probably just don't do that one. That way nobody falls. on the ground if something were to happen. Other than that, the thing specified is just make sure the kids that aren't in the group catching, that they're standing far enough back to where they're not in the way. And to tell the kids when they are going to catch somebody to make sure they are keeping their head back. That way when the impact hits their arms and they start to lean forward, they're not already there to where they hit heads. Make sure they're trying to lean back, stay there. When you decide who goes where in that group, put your strongest people on their back. That way if the weaker people do drop them, they drop the feet and the back and head are still not going to hit the ground. I think that's it with trust falls. Anybody have questions about that or know something that I didn't say? Cool. Next one is called Noah's Ark. That one, the goal is to get it balanced, spread out, and then there's a bunch of different ways you can go about doing it. You can get everybody on one side, and then you can try to switch people without letting it touch the ground, or you can have them all lined up on the outer rim, and you have to make an entire circle without letting the thing hit the ground. Sometimes it's just challenging enough just to get them up there and get it balanced. But there's several different ways. The biggest thing is don't let them get on until you're ready. One of y'all or both of y'all need to stand on whatever side you're going to enter from and step on it and keep it down. Have everyone load on that one side, then spread out to balance it. Those of you who've been here before, y'all have heard the story. Somebody was sitting here, and a group of guys thought it was going to be funny to go and try to launch her up in the air. And right as they both jumped up, she was done sitting down and stood up and turned around, and then they jumped on it, and it shredded her shins and knee off, like all of the skin right there. That's a big part of the dangerous aspect to it, and why you don't want them getting off and on without having permission, and to have them all load from one side. Then when you're ready to get off, have them all go stand on that same side, then step on it and have them step off. And make sure you preface that, because when you're done, you say, okay, we're going to switch to the next. All of them just want to jump off where they are. Don't let them do that. Make sure they all unload from the correct side. Make sense? Any questions about that one? Okay. From here, the next one, I don't actually know what the name is, but it's these wires that kind of go into a rectangle. It's kind of like a balancing, teamwork building. The double tree on the closest one to us on the left side, you will start on the short section right there. You'll work your way all the way around and then across the long section. There will be a rope. It stays in the Tupperware box that is under the 10-foot wall. Same with one of the other ones, the rope that goes in there. They both sit in that box, and use that. The big thing you want to do is make sure they're not playing and shaking the things on purpose to knock people off. When you are there watching it, the best thing for you to do is to spot them. Typically, if someone falls forward, they're much more likely to catch themselves, so you want to spot from behind them. So if I'm balancing, walking across here, Jess, come here and spot me. If I'm balancing, walking with my partner right here, Jess is going to stand behind me. That way, if I fall backwards, he can either catch me and keep me up there, or he can grab me and let me set my feet on the ground. Same with the spotting there, they're more likely to fall forward. Usually they will land on their feet, but they won't fall backwards on that one. That's why you guard under them. But on this one, you make sure you guard behind them. That way you can catch them. And especially when they're going across the longer one, it gets the shakiest. That's the one they're most likely to fall on. Any of the longer sections, that's the one they're most likely to fall on. So make sure you're spotting extra careful on those. There is some cool ideas on how to get through that, and we'll let y'all figure that out as we go over there. But typically the goal is to just see if you can get everyone across. Sometimes it takes so long that it's like we're just trying to get one person across. What's the best way to do it? And you work as a team to get one person across. And if you have a group that's really, really good at it and get through, you just want to see how fast they can get it done. The 10-foot wall, it's actually 9 feet and 3/4. The boards are. The goal is to get your entire team from the ground up and over the wall. The big rules with that are you can have no more than 2 people at the top pulling people over. Once the third one's there, someone has to come down. And then on the bottom, make sure that the campers and you are spotting the kid, which is just standing behind with your hands ready. That way if they fall, you can keep their head from hitting the ground. Keep your hands ready to go, and passing them up. that's the gist of the safety issues there. There is, like, part of one of the boards kind of sticks out. Make sure they're being careful when stepping on that. Make sure they have like good enough shoes if they do choose to try to use that part of the wall to step up, that it's not there. In doing it, the rules, you're not allowed to go around the back until you get over. Imagine that wall goes all the way across, if that makes sense. But if you have a group that's really struggling to do it and they just really want to get over the wall, you can start with somebody up there on top. That is fine. But what you want to try to do, the more, I guess, experienced way of doing it is starting them on the ground, everyone on the ground, and getting them up there. The last one is, I forget the actual name for it, but it's not sharing the gospel on the island, but something like that. And it's similar to this, except instead of boards trying to get you from one island to the other, there is a rope that hangs in the middle of them. And the goal is for them to figure out how to get the rope to themselves and then get everybody from one island to the other without falling off the island. To make it more challenging, if you find a stick and a Powerade or Gatorade is typically the best bottle cap to use, but a bottle cap on a stick, and you can kind of like tell them it's the word, like the gospel, and that they're trying to get this from one side to the other, and they have to do it without dropping it. That's one way to do it. It makes it a little more challenging because it's hard to get through, and we'll let y'all figure out a way to get that one in a second. Do you have any questions, or any of y'all who have done these before know if I forgot anything? Cool. All right, what we're going to do is just, we'll go through, let y'all practice spotting on certain ones. Video them putting them on each other.
Unless you're just doing it for like promo or something.
Yeah, for the training that the SALT members need, I don't need them putting it on.
Now can I tell you what I said?
No, all of y'all are going to work together, which that's exactly why. You're going to work, they will all be working together to do it. And there is a long rope, it does reach all the way across this. Yeah. Alright, just start picking people to send, and as you start going, y'all can say things and what you think is the best way to do it. Now, since he is talking about that, I'm going to show you real quick. When you're showing your kids, the best way to do this when you're passing people across is not to hold hands this way, not to hold hands this way, but rather grab forearms here. That's going to be the most stable. Now, they don't have to do it that way, but when the kids are talking about it, that's the safest way to keep people from falling. Much easier to hold on to each other with that. All right, start sending people up there. Who do you want to go up first? So you're going to actually start. This wire is when we start with first.
Oh yeah,
Keep
I'm
sending
always
people.
I'm like,
Goal is to go down and around.
Now, grab set.
Yo. Can I use your bug spray? Can I use your bug spray?
Physically able to? Oh yeah, I used to pronounce it jalapeno.
Jalapenos.
Yeah, that's what I would be like. I used to be like, man, what's his name?
That would be his English name, yes.
She didn't learn. She was
Got a problem?
You didn't know what 1776
Once you fall, you just have to go back in line. You got to get all these people across.
Oh, everybody.
Unless somebody just really doesn't want to do it. They don't have to do it. That's fine. You do not have to do it.
Uh-oh, he fell. Gotta start over. Wrong way. Let Leo do that. Wait a minute.
I did it the last 3 years. Not this time. Keep passing.
I think Blake forgot that, dude. You could have had him talk. Hey, Jack.
Pass the road.
You gotta pass the
A
road.
lot of people were waiting to say it. They already knew it. If it feels embarrassing, it's not.
I was like confused.
I didn't know that. My counselor was doing crabby
Oh, you got to restart. He fell with
And he dropped the rope.
on the wire. Make sure you're spotting those. You're doing it.
Yeah, y'all all go.
Don't worry, Katie. We got you. You won't fall.
I believe in you.
Oh, wait, I probably you're strong.
Katie's
Just drop it.
I spot you. I got this.
Leo, are you watching how John David's doing it? Jordan David, watch John David. He pulls the slack in so it's tight.
I've already made it.
That mattress does not look like it's going to do very much.
Hey, I did fall from the top. I need at least 2 people spotting.
I hope Leo doesn't grab my butt cheeks.
Step on his shoulders.
My shoes are a little dirty.
We're not doing it actually.
Why not?
Ow! Because we don't want anybody looking up our shorts.
Check these out. One of your feet up to one of our shoulders.
Ow!
Alright, go.
Change the chains.
The girls will spot y'all.
Oh.
But are the boys not going to?
We're gonna help lift. Or not.
Me and Sutton will be at the base, and the girls will spot y'all if you want to do it.
They can close their eyes.
Wait, am I going up now?
Well, not if you're helping me.
I'll stay.
All right, here's another strong person who feels like they're strong and can help pull people up.
You was not strong. Sorry, you ratty. Oh, that was quick.
Hey, Jeffrey, do you play tennis for Alabama?
No,
He played tennis for Alabama.
Did you actually?
now he just does
Are y'all wanting to do it? We can send y'all up now if you want.
He's a national champion. Yeah. He's a
All
national
right,
champion.
who's next?
Leo.
Okay, we're at a problem, Leo. What's the rule about what's about to happen right now? Well, yes, we need a spotter, but look at the top.
How many people are already up there?
Okay, so what's gonna happen? So Jorge's going up and then coming down. Cool.
Then
The 2 of them can stay up there the whole time. That's fine.
whatever you want.
But the thing was, somebody has to come down. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh my God.
All right. Yep. Leo, spot. Reach up.
Where?
You needed him over the wall.
Light. You're up. 2 people should be spotting, by the way, not just Leo. Who's stepping up first? It doesn't matter.
Whichever leg.
Whatever. Yeah.
Hold my head.
Grab shoulders, head, whatever you need.
Hey, Mr. D, can you pick her? Put her in camp. I'm recording her as a salt member. I'm recording her. On the diving board shoe, she will be Katie. Katie, you can't see.
You got it.
Up and over and have come down, you're only allowed to spot. You're not allowed to help anymore. I know that this one can be very uncomfortable. 1 year during training week, they gave this dude the most atomic wedgie ever, so I get if you don't want to do this, that is totally fine. You can stay back. But you're going to try to help spot if there is room for you to spot. But those of you who want to do it, y'all can step forward. Those of you who are going to do it, you can step forward.
Isn't it only like 2 people up there to yours?
Yeah, only 2 at the top. Once the 3rd person gets up there, someone has to come down. It can be the person who just got up there, or you can switch.
If Kirby can do it, any of y'all can
Now,
do it.
this one's not, there's not like a super secret trick. The best thing to do is to have 2 people down low, spotting, and get your strongest arm person up first, and have the last person to go, or last 2 people to go, be people who are light, can jump high, or are tall and can reach the top fairly easily. So, Aiden, pick who's going up first, pick who's going up last.
Let's see.
And I'll help. Oh,
Can the girls jump in?
do y'all want to do your own girls group, or y'all just want to just do it in this group?
There's only 3 of us.
Then yeah, y'all can just join in with us.
If Kirby can do it, anybody can do it.
Nobody heard me except you.
He only cried the whole way up. And I only thought I was going to drop a child.
I don't want
Let me back spot. Let me back spot.
You want to for at least 3 seconds. No one can be touching the ground. Okay. Now the best. What I've seen is the best strategy. Yeah. What I've seen is the best strategy is to get